This is the Archangel 2210, and I just saw the episode of Young Justice. This isn't an official review per se, but I felt like I had to talk about it because um, it had one of my favorite characters in it, which I'm really surprised that they did a spin on her, which was Zatanna. Now, alright, I'll be kind of quick with this because I don't want to run the video like 100 years. But they showed her father in the show for a few episodes. In the pilot episode, they show him on the screen, and they showed him in the previous episode where he was fighting alongside the Justice League in against the venomous plants. And okay, and he is actually, in fact, in the DC comics. He was in the comics, I think, back in the Golden Age when Superman and Batman first appeared, but he never actually fought alongside the Justice League. He was in the comics, in the DC comics, but he never fought alongside them, even as an ally. It wasn't until years later when they created Zatanna Zatora where they explained that she was a daughter of that magician, and she became an ally and a member of the Justice League. And they've always showed her as a young as a adult, as a member of the Justice League. They never showed her in the comics as like a teenager of any kind. And in fact, in the Teen Titans comics, they did have a magician character during the time when Miss Martian came on, along with this is after the death of Superboy, and a whole this stuff happened. And they had all these characters join the Teen Titans. Including Miss Martian. They had Ravenger, who was a daughter of Deathstroke, and Kid Devil. They had a bunch of characters, and they had this one character who was Tatara, who I think was supposed to be the kid cousin of Zatanna, but he wasn't nearly as powerful as her. Same type of powers where he could say words backwards and they are a spell, but his powers can't affect people at all, so he's not nearly as powerful as her. And I think he wasn't nearly as popular, nearly as likable. So when it came to Young Justice, they probably put it. They probably took him out, and they were like, you know what? Let's put in the father as a member of the Justice League, and let's make Zatanna a member of the Young Justice, which I'm kind of torn about. I really am. I like the character. I like the way they made her, where she was this she was attractive. She had this quirky sense of humor. Because Zatanna, this is the one thing that I think people get wrong, and the one thing I didn't like about the Smallville version of Zatanna, although she's attractive and she's sexy and this that whatever, and she's the mistress of magic, she also has this quirky sense of humor that she's kind of known for. Not so much like the comedy relief of the team that mantle usually goes to the Flash or kind of Captain Marvel. The character that kind of has like the childlike naivete. It like she kind of does have like sort of an innocence, but not a childlike innocence. And I always kind of liked Zatanna. She was like my second favorite female character. Other like Wonder Woman obviously is number one, and then Zatanna was always like number two. I always wanted her to be part of the Big Seven of Justice League, and in Justice League cartoon she was never like a big member. She was always in just one episode. So I don't know if she's actually going to be a full-on member of the Young Justice team, or if this was just a one-episode deal. Um, Either way, and in the episode she was very, and she explained that she's not just she can just do anything with her abilities. That she does have limits to her powers. She's not nearly as powerful as her father, and two, the energy has to come from inside her, and she has to also know the spell. That's another thing. So she did explain that she does have limits to her powers, and it kind of they kind of played off a little romance already in the one episode she was in with her and Robin, you know, and they were kind of like they were the only two actually like giving dialogue back and forth, and he was kind of like flirting with her a little bit, and I thought that was kind of interesting a little bit that she's flirting with Robin out of all characters, because the grown Zatanna, she's kind of had like a romance slash friendship with Batman. So it's kind of funny that out of all of them, she was drawn to Robin, and Robin was actually drawn to her. Um, and this is actually the Dick Grayson Robin. So there is a few holes in my opinion when it comes to that, because I kind of feel like in order for this show to be perfect, I would have had it where that is the Tim Drake Robin, the third Robin, along with Superboy and all those other characters. And I would have had, if they wanted a female magician, I would have had it be the daughter of Zatanna or Zatanna's niece, like a character made up for the show type of thing, but making it where it's actually Zatanna at 15. I don't know. I'm like in the middle about it. I like the design of the character. I thought it was cute and simple. I liked her abilities. I liked the fact that she wasn't easily intimidated. I really liked the character, and I liked the direction they gone with the character itself. But I don't know about making her 15 while the rest of the members are like vital members of the Justice League, which begs a question: if they're going to bring a character like Zatanna as a member of Young Justice, what other characters will they bring in as a member of, either an ally for an episode or a full-on member of Young Justice who is an actual member of Justice League? It is a question to ponder, because maybe we'll see Wonder Girl in an episode pop up. Would probably Donna Troy Wonder Girl they'll bring in, which is supposed to be Wonder Woman's younger sister. If they're bringing it in on this rate, where it's the first version of the sidekicks that they're doing. Well, I don't think we will ever see Starfire in the show, or Raven, or Cyborg, or Beast Boy, because those are very Teen Titan characters, and kind of have this whole 1960s feel. And I don't think we're ever going to see them in this version. As much as I would like to see Raven in this universe, in this Young Justice cartoon, I don't think that's going to happen. I think instead we're going to have Zatanna instead of Raven, which I can deal with. I really like the character Zatanna. She's more lighthearted, even though she has the magic abilities. So I'm still split on Zatanna being on Young Justice. I like the character. I like the way they drew her. I like her way they did her abilities, and I even like the romance between her and Robin. But I just don't know how the rest of the fans will be. I don't know if they'll be as accepting as I am, with Zatanna being probably a 15-year-old teenager fighting with the Young Justice members. I don't know. And talking about the Legion of Doom characters, I kind of didn't like the way Poison Ivy was designed. That's a minor detail, but I just didn't like the way she was designed. She looked too like rough and tumble and grrr. I kind of felt like Poison Ivy should have been more like beautiful drawn, But that's a minor detail. But I thought last week's episode was amazing with them fighting Legion of Doom. And they were kind of misdirected on who the real enemy is, and then it was revealed in that episode it's a whole bunch of other villains. I can't remember what villains that they showed, but it was like a split second. They showed I think Queen Bee and a bunch of other characters. But all in all, I thought this episode was good. And other stuff happened where it was basically Red Tornado, and they were focusing on Red Tornado and his origin and all the other his brothers and sisters of Red Tornado. I was like, oh, this is cool and all, but I kind of want to focus more on Zatanna. I want because that was a total that caught me off guard. Then just throwing Zatanna in the episode that had nothing to do with her. She was just kind of a character thrown in there, and I really like the character. I hope to see the character again in the show, but we shall see. We shall see next week what will happen next week with the character and the show progressing on, and if there be any other superhero cameos in the show as well. Write a comment below of what characters you think will make a great cameo in the show.